if everybody can see us. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to space. You made it. Oh, wow. It's so far. Look outside. It's stars and darkness. It's space. Welcome, everybody, to the 4th episode of Burn Bryte After Midnight. An awesome show, if I don't say so myself, an awesome show where we play through an awesome science fantasy game called Burn Bryte, which is an awesome new game designed specifically for Roll20, and we are playing through the After Midnight module, which you can buy and even enter to win by watching this very stream here. So let's go around and meet our lovely cast. Gnome, who are you? Who are you playing?
Hi, I'm prepared today after the, third or fourth time, knowing that I'm going to go first. I'm Rome, and I'm playing Little Voice, a peacecraft who is darling, if I do say so myself, because we all love space robots.
We're just saying nice things about ourselves, our characters, and our shows today.
We should do that.
And, of course, going around in clockwise order, Nassim.
Yes, that's me. I'm Nassim, and I'm playing your Rornan horde of insects and growing family, Vamfam.
Yes, and Lisa.
I'm Lisa Penrose, and I am playing your mysterious and magical space cat, Tsela Gloss, or is she?
Oh. Who is Tsela Gloss? And Eugenio.
Hi everybody, I'm Eugenio, DM Jazzy Hands, and tonight I am playing Atash, our crystal-obsessed Zavoy friend.
Oh, our crystal friend. And my name is Celeste Konowich. I will not be playing a player this evening. I am your game master on this journey through Olaxis. So yes, that's that. Also, before we get in, I want to tell you about this charity that we are benefiting. If you look above the Tiltify banner there, you can see all proceeds. You can donate at any point during the show to Code 2040, which is an awesome organization that helps folks in the tech industry, marginalized folks in the tech industry. Other folks do not need help in the tech industry. Sorry. Wow, we're telling truths here tonight on Burn Bryte. Oh my gosh, but please do donate. It's an awesome cause. Every time we hit a $100 goal, we are going to raffle off a copy of this amazing module. So if you like what you see here, if you're enjoying Burn Bryte, you can enter to win and help some people. So please do that. Our lovely moderators in chat are posting how you can donate. Yeah, and I think that's that. So we need to talk about what happened last time on Burn Bryte before we dive into the events of today. So what happened, y'all? A lot of stuff.
We traveled a lot, and during those travels, Tsela Gloss had grumpy dreams about her past, where we find out that her uncle tried to have her murderated by his butler.
His personal assistant?
His personal assistant.
Who also buttles for your uncle. So.
And that she's actually an Eno named Cialula.
Yes, so some dark secrets came out. Something else happened, too, just before we got on the ship. Do you want to talk about that? Or I guess as we were
about it.
getting away.
To block that memory.
Oh. Yes, you had barely escaped the burn consuming the planet as you were getting away as well. So we did that. We learned about Tsela Gloss's backstory. What else happened?
We did escape the burn, and in escaping the burn, we brought with us Denier and the rest of the crew of the Midnight Oil, which was in fact our mission. So show over.
You did it.
Thanks for coming, everybody. So we made it to. They asked us to take them to. Oh, I'm gonna forget the name of the system.
Tsela is the city you were going to on the system.
Yevlin
3.
Yevlin 3. Yeah.
The city of Tsela. Yes, an ARC city on the mid-belt moon of Yevlin 3.
That. There.
How about that? I had all those keywords highlighted in orange because I knew I would forget them.
Basically, Denier told us that they needed to collect more information from So, okay. I tried to take over and I failed.
So,
You were so good.
Denier had let you
Denier-
know that. Oh, yeah, go for it, Lisa.
Denier let us know that her ship was like overtaken by anonymous robots with no insignias on them, and they stole so much plasma and disappeared, and we're supposed to help track it down and find out exactly what's up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We know that's particularly unusual because ever since the sort of agreement that forbade the making of more sentient AIs and peacecraft and robots that are sentient and fully realized, there really aren't that many robots around, and so whoever did this had some chaos to be able to program that many robots to do that specifically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so very, very weird. And then also Denier mentioned she did manage to get a tracking device onto one of these robots. So that is what she is currently looking up. What else happened?
While we were
Oh,
waiting
go,
for the information, Vam decided to try and get their own information status update from their followers, and basically called everyone to action at the heckling hacker. Heckling hacker.
Yeah. Really easy to say. Yeah, we had VamCon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a grand old time. People mingled. The community grew. We sold merch.
Yep.
So much merch.
So much merch.
All of
Super
it.
cool bug shirts that we need made in real life.
Yeah.
And at the very end of the episode, Vam, something very interesting happened. Can you tell us about that?
I was bestowed a mysterious gift. It was left for me at the bar, and it seemed to be a sphere. Just metallic, or was it stone?
It was stone, and it had all these kind of weird carvings on it.
Yes, yeah. About the size of what a basketball is. That's what I imagined.
Yeah, about the size
Yeah.
of a basketball. I'm sure I just did my hands because sports balls are hard. Yeah, and also at the very last minute too. I guess that's right where we're picking up. We are all in the heckling hacker. Oh my gosh, heckling hacker! How dare you? We are all in the comedy club in the midst of VamCon. It has been a great time, a great evening. All of you were, enjoying meeting all of these people who have come from all over Olaxis. Once again, because Tsela is an ARC city, so that means that a lot of refugees end up here in Tsela, and there are equally as many heroes here willing to help them and provide resources. So it's a very diverse spot in Olaxis. So all of these wonderful people, you'd had some drinks, enjoyed some light comedy through the evening, and then this very strange package had showed up. Just basically the bartender had told you, VamFam, like, hey, someone dropped this off. They had no idea who it was, didn't get a view of them. And yeah, you had opened up this box, this stone ball, and as you had interacted with it too, something sort of strange had happened. You had heard something in your mind, a note or a few bars of a song, and it had just seemed so sad and so lonely. And as this note kind of trails off, Vam, the sphere, it goes quiet, and you're left sitting there with just this odd thing on the table. What are you doing?
Trying to wait patiently to see if any other noise will come out of it, and as I imagine, probably nothing does. We're gonna try to start like tapping it, prodding it, rolling it, rubbing it, seeing if any of it
Trying to get it
sparks
to
another reaction. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
that was an interesting sound.
yeah, and you do, and the ball is kind of heavy. It's like it's solid stone. I mean, when you kind of move it around and shift it, you get the feeling that it has a thick shell, but it's hollow on the inside, or whatever is on the inside isn't as thick a material as the outside here. But yeah, you push it, you roll it, you feel its weight. No more sounds seem to come from this ball here. And I will remind you, too, that you had kind of sequestered yourself off into a corner. So the rest of your companions are still mingling with the guests. So in this moment, you are entirely alone.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, if nothing is coming from my little pokes and prods, the next thing we'd like to do is dart back over to the bartender and just hold the ball in front of their face, stretching over the counter. Do you recognize any of these symbols?
Sorry? And it was, again, this Eno who had just kind of run over and given this to you. I don't... no? Am I supposed to?
No, just curious if perchance they seemed familiar, or perhaps the work of a famous street artist in your area.
No? And they look at you, and they're, like, scrubbing out glasses at this point because the bar is, like, packed with all of these, attendees who are just waiting for a chance to talk to you as you approach. So they're like, no, sorry, I don't know. I didn't... I went to theater school, so I don't...
Good luck with that.
Hey, thanks! My set's up in 10 minutes if you want to check it out.
Oh no, performing at your own bar.
They give you a big smile.
Yeah, it was a genuine good luck, but we understand. So Vam will now aggressively start going from person to person in this club ball directly into every person's face.
Oh yeah.
And just say, do you recognize this? Did you send me this? Did you see a person drop this off? Just every possible simple question, but as soon as anyone says no, we've moved on to the next one.
Yeah, and I think people are turning you away, and most of these people seem very heartbroken that they can't help you. That they can't identify what this is, and you do have some people offering well, my cousin studied antiquity, or maybe that. Oh, that my friend actually is good with ancient language, so these kind of things. Floating about. And so I think Vam eventually encounters maybe the group of you. And you see your friend, is waving this kind of orb around the room.
Scale of 1 to 10.
Yes.
How much does the orb look like a crystal?
Not at all, unfortunately. It's like sort of a grayish stone ball.
It's the best.
Yeah, I would say it would be maybe a 0.5 of interest just because it's a rock.
I'm thrilled.
Atesh.
Atesh is disappointed, but I'm very happy about that.
Yeah. Don't take Nassim's stuff.
I already take lots of stuff.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Well, once I eventually come across my group again, I'll sit down and place the ball in the center of us. And I've received a mysterious gift, and I don't seem to have any answers as to its origins.
That seems suspect.
Lisa, I think you're muted.
Oh, wait, am I still muted?
Oh, no, I can hear you.
Okay. Having studied arcane things, am I able to do some sort of check to see if I recognize any of these symbols?
Yeah, let's go ahead and we're going to switch to the gameplay screen for our first roll of the night. Wow, here we go. Zoom! Oh, wow, it's like magic. We're here. All right. Yes, I think Tsela Gloss can definitely go ahead and do a roll for this. I'm going to say... I'll put it at complexity 3. And then what kind of skill are you using to
knowledge, probably?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Sense.
All right,
So,
complexity 3. Knowledge.
I don't have my other screen up. Did I roll it?
You did, yes, and you passed.
Where'd it go? Don't mind me. Okay,
it's fine.
Yay!
You did it. Yeah. So as you are looking at these runes, it kind of takes you a minute because you're looking, because the carvings themselves are sort of worn. They're not very clear. So you're looking at these patterns and you're like, oh, it's definitely letters. Not only is it letters, it's letters that have great symbolic meaning, particularly for those involved with magic. Because this writing that you're seeing on this thing, this is omniscient writing, which is like the most ancient of languages. Omniscients were they were like the gods who created Olaxis. Now, of course, basically all of the omniscients are dead, and plasma, what fuels magic, is the substance that is mined from their bodies, sort of like oil.
I've seen this on Golgi. It is the language of the omniscience. How did you get such a thing?
Yeah, whatever this is, extremely rare, very, very cool, probably very powerful. Most omniscient tech is extremely powerful and very misunderstood.
I'm not aware of who brought it into my possession. The bartender simply dropped it off, mentioning that I assume a family member dropped off for me without a note.
Well, you haven't told anyone, right?
The whole bar.
Yeah, Bev just kind of looks all the way around and goes,
All the little bugs turn around.
Yeah. Not directly.
Good. Is the wrong person finding out might lead to trouble for us.
And then family will just kind of slowly consume the stone into their being, as if like, oh, nothing to see here. Let's put this away for now.
Where do you put it? Is it like a little head, or like do you have like a little pot belly now, or like where is it on Vam?
I
do you
like
get
the
shorter?
idea that I have a little pot belly now.
Yeah.
The placed
just a little
volume
tummy
of insects gave me a little dad bod.
Too much beer at the comedy club. Yeah, all right. So you can easily consume this object to hide it. Yeah. And I will say, a bunch of people are kind of hovering around the table, not only because Vam is there and they definitely want to talk to Vam, but, some of these people were also very curious about this mystery that you have presented. So there is sort of a lot of attention on you at the moment. Is there anything you're doing to diffuse that? I think all of you can clearly see, like, you have attracted quite a bit of attention.
I guess Vam's gonna make their way up to the stage and just, surprise, we have another performer coming up to the stage in just a few moments. Welcome your very own bartender extraordinaire for the evening.
Oh, and you see the bartender.
Like, Vam doesn't know their name and is just kind of like, Master Mix-a-Lot.
Meow Mix
gives them a name.
Meow Mix, like the bartender is calling from across.
Meow Mix. Give a very warm welcome to the stage.
Yeah, and all the family's like, oh, okay. They start clapping, as the bartender, like, throws down their towel, like having to come up a couple minutes early, but they seem excited. You see them take a moment to like breathe and then like get into character, and they like step forward and they're waving and stuff, and they're like, how y'all doing tonight? I know you're excited for another set from me. Meow Mix. And the whole crowd is like, yeah.
We have to go as quickly as possible.
Yeah. And Meow Mix does grab attention eventually with a okay set that they start embarking on. So attention is pulled away from the rest of you. And I will say, unless there's anything else specifically you want to do during the course of the evening, we can definitely go ahead and fast forward through the end of the night here.
You don't want to give us a comedy act, Celeste?
I wasn't prepared. This is gonna go on YouTube, and people are so mean there. God, jokes. It's so good. So, the night continues on this general merriment. It's a very pleasant evening. I think very relaxing too, just being in the company of so many nice, positive folks. And things start to wind down as the bar it hits midnight and things are starting to wrap up. Some people are filing out since they have to go to work and all that boring stuff. So you all can make your way back towards your bed and breakfast. As you get back, your lovely Glean patron who helped you out is still kind of there. He's sitting in an armchair when you get back inside the ceramic mushroom doors, and flipping through a newspaper, seemingly not realizing what time it is. Oh, hello. Hi, kids. It's so late. Sorry, are you looking to rent rooms?
I jingle the very distinct key with a dog on it.
You're already set up. Oh, these old eyes. Not what they used to be. Not what they used to be. Actually, and this Gleam kind of holds up the newspaper for a moment and then looks up at all of you and then looks back down at the newspaper and holds it like really close to their face. They're like, not what they used to be, and kind of squints his eyes at you, Tsela Gloss.
I am wearing giant bug sunglasses. So I'm amazed if you can see my face, but I just kind of like push them up a little bit and yes, Vel. And I just run down the hallway.
Atash, seeing this happen, will maybe a moment too late for it to be truly smooth, but we'll go over to the Glean and just look at the newspaper and say, now what have you been, it's so late, it must be very interesting, whatever you're reading, tell me all about it.
And it's like a Olaxis Today kind of magazine, and then there's like a page where it's on like the crime section of the newspaper, and you see that there are all of like several of these little mug shots that have been lined up at the bottom of the paper with this tag "Wanted Criminals," and one of them looks an awful lot like Tsela Gloss, but the name is different. It could be her.
Well, I think that sort of reading liable to give me bad dreams, but you do you, but I feel like you must be tired. You've been working all day. You checked us in. Certainly, it's time for sleep, right?
Yes, not as well as I used to. These are sort of my hours. I'll go to sleep around 2 a.m. and then wake back up around 1 p.m. and we do it all over again. This is the high life, witching hour, and you like kind of wave some of his tentacles at you.
I think I waved my eye stone.
Yeah. You kids should get to sleep though. Need your beauty rest and all that. I don't need that. I'm already married. I don't have to try anymore.
Mood. Atash turns one of their eye stalks around as she says something about beauty rest and just sort of looks at the long 5-foot sort of flowy slug body and says, "It's a good point. Good night."
Yes. So with that, you do know Denier had mentioned that she's probably going to need a day or two to kind of like run through the chip, the information that she did get back from the chip through her systems and like track down, any leads. So basically you have that amount of time in Tsela to do anything you would like here. Once again, this is a very thriving metropolis city. So if you want to buy anything, if you want any ship modules to upgrade Wanda with, or take care of any other business, this would definitely be the place to do it. So starting things off, Anybody who wants to do what with their couple days in the city here? We can also start off by picking out some ship modules. I know you all had some stuff in mind, so maybe let's do that. What orders do you put in for Wanda's upgrades so you can get those done by the time you leave?
It would be nice to have a kitchen of some sort. So they're so expensive.
Yeah. You do realize, I mean, this is a refugee city, so a lot of the people coming in from different systems took what they could from their homes and are here and, trying to build a life here. So there are quite a few ships that basically are no longer space worthy, but they did, were retrofitted with their own modules and everything. So there are quite a bit of bargain places if you want to go and kind of pick the remains of modules off of ships that are no longer space worthy. So I'll say you can find some pretty sweet discounts. What module are you specifically looking at?
I want to get an Eldritchen.
Oh my gosh.
But they're 50,000 argent.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if we can get an Eldritchen that's like maybe glitched out. It only makes one particular thing, and we all have to decide what that thing is now.
Okay. Wait, first off, let's tell the people, what does an Eldritchen do? Tell me again, what does this do? Because that sounds it sounds like you're making Cthulhu snacks.
Eldritchen, Cthulhu snacks. Effect. This magic kitchen is stocked with all manner of specialized appliances and self-replenishing herbs and spices.
Whoa.
It increases the ship's livability rating by 1.
Okay.
And whenever an NPC eats a meal prepared in the kitchen within the last 24 hours, the player characters reduce the complexity of social skills made to influence the creature by 1. Yeah.
I love this. You just send people cupcakes and they love you. So good. Okay. So what is our money total? So
30,000, I believe.
30,000 total. Okay. And were there any other modules you were kind of looking at? Let's make a deal.
Well, when you put it that way.
Let's make a deal.
No, I mean, we had talked a little bit about a couple of security, further security measures for the ship. We talked briefly about getting a second gun since we've only got the one.
Yeah, but then we were like, Little Voice is a gun, so.
Right, so we knew we didn't have to do that.
I think we were talking about shields.
Oh, that's right, shield generators. Yeah.
That would be helpful.
Those are only 5,000 a piece. So that's probably, of all of the things that we have discussed thus far, definitely the cheapest. But they're basically I believe they're basically oh no, that's not true. They can be rearmed. They are reusable. We just have to do it at a dock, but it isn't quite like a personal shield generator.
Yeah, because I believe
have to have a bunch of batteries.
Here, I'm gonna throw this out. I think we have one on the ship, or no? Do we just have
a shield generator? No, we have hull gunk.
Okay.
is our defensive measure, our security
gunk?
measure rather.
Okay, yeah, we should probably get a shield.
Gunk? Oh, you haven't had a breach yet. Then you'll be thankful for the gunk.
That's personally on Vampam's top priority because we get one breach and I lose a single insect. That's a problem for us. We can't lose them.
Okay.
All
right.
No bugs left behind.
Yeah.
The hull gunk is also cheap.
Never mind. Gunk is sounding pretty good.
Also, the reason that Wanda is part plant is because we didn't have enough hull gunk last time.
Oh my god.
That's a slight oversimplification,
but we want to put it that way.
we got effed up by that space kraken, yo.
Space Kraken's not a joke. Krakens in any system, not a joke.
Not a joke.
What is Wanda's shield health level now without any shield generators? Or does she have no shield health level?
She has no shield health level. So we can pull up Wanda's ship. So ships typically don't come with a shield rating. So what we have a livability 4. So actually, you all can look at Wanda's character sheet here.
Oh, we can.
So right now, Wanda has 4 health levels, 4 livability, but 0 shield charges. It's sort of like a personal shield generator,
Except
where
it
basically
can be re-upped.
Yeah. So yes. Oh, and all our modules on there. Cool. Yeah. So we have our whole gunk, best thing ever. Rotating turret, cryo chamber, and healing bay. It's currently what we have. Yeah, so
feel-
essentially it would give you one free, like, shot.
Okay. I
Per
feel like we
combat.
should get at least one shield, maybe two.
If we're gonna be going up against like unknown robots that shouldn't exist, we may want a little bit of defense.
Yeah.
Just a
Are we
scooch.
able to get 2 shields and an Eldritchin?
So an Eldritchin is usually 50,000.
Yeah,
and
but
you
it can
have
make anything.
30,000.
An Eldritchin.
I would like some kind of roll to see if you
Oh.
can wheel and deal. If you
Okay.
succeed on this roll, I will give you 2 shield generators and a busted Eldritch kitchen.
Celeste is like, let's play the
How can
game
we
to see if you get it.
support?
I'm like, let me figure out how I can
What
wheel and deal with the
if,
GM.
what if though? So here are some scenarios I would accept, because I imagine you go to like the big nasty shipyard like that's just full of broken ships, and it could either be like maybe you are going and looking at these ships and you happen to find this part that the salvagers didn't realize was there. So I'll take that as one option, or you can deal with the salvagers with social skills and actually like haggle down the price.
What if
Yes.
this is like IKEA where they could deliver to you,
Yes.
or you could take it in your car? And if I can carry this big Eldritch
if
fridge,
you can carry the Eldritch fridge.
they will knock down all those fees.
Yes.
Oh,
Because
wow.
I'm pretty good at power.
This is like that scene from the Drew Barrymore movie where she carries the prince from the rogues. Ever After.
Yes.
That's the name of the movie. Okay. Wow. Okay, so you want to... All right, sure. I'll say the salvage guys laugh so much and say,
Little,
sure,
I'm like 3 feet tall.
sure. Let us have it.
All right.
Sure, we'll take all, but to be clear, they are taking all 30,000 of your argent.
Oh yeah.
Either way. So,
But we get the
Them and I
two-
haven't
Wait,
had
wait.
money in
Either way, as in like we lose and they just get our money anyways?
no, I mean, you're gonna get the Eldritchin. Eldritch Kitchen, Eldritchin. Oh no, it's another one of those things.
Yep.
You're gonna get an Eldritchin, no matter what, and you'll get one shield generator, no matter
Well,
what.
that's kind.
Okay.
But
we could get a second one.
you could get a second one.
Okay. I'm gonna try.
What are you? What?
I'm
please-
going to
Yeah.
when she feels like they're not looking, she's gonna rub some of that fluorescent powder on her hands, and like warm it up, and then she's gonna grab this giant eldritch fridge, which I feel like is all that's left because it's like a janky eldritchin.
Oh yeah.
It's like a big refrigerator.
Yeah, it's the big refrigerator. It does have some of the regenerating ingredients, but okay. And
It's
what?
like,
So what is this skill you're trying to do?
power. I'm
With
using my
power.
sheer power.
Okay, so we're magicking it.
Yeah.
Okay, I would say that this is going to be pretty hard because the fridge is very heavy. I don't know if you've ever seen an industrial. You have. You did catering, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yes. So let's do 4. We're gonna do a complexity
Okay.
4
All right. Here we go. Sorry, this is all on me.
to try
All right.
and telekinetically lift
Wait,
this
I want to
fridge.
click on the right screen. Okay. And I roll it. Yes!
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. What does it look like when you magically carry this fridge out of the salvage yard?
Because I'm using magic, it's actually light as a feather, but I don't want them to know. So I'm kind of like, oh, it's so heavy. And I just put it on my shoulder.
Yeah, and you see these two, who's like a pair of like driftling twins. They're like looking at you just like, what? And you see their, because they're shape changers, so their jaws distend just a little bit too far as their mouths drop open, just watching you like, poorly act like this thing is hard walking out of the junkyard. And they're like, did you see that? Okay, all right, here, take them. And they throw the 2 shield generators at the rest of you to carry and be like, wow, that's That's scary is what that is. Good luck with that.
Can we decide what it makes now?
Yes. So it is broken. So I will say you can make 3 things with this Eldritchin. So, you know what? Let's do 4, and each of you can decide one thing this Eldritchin makes. Oh, Nassim, you raised your hand? Do you already know?
I don't have an idea. I was just gonna say that's perfect because then we can choose one meal for every time of the day, basically.
Yeah.
Every kind of meal.
Yeah. Exactly. So who has an idea? Everybody has to contribute one thing that this Eldritchin makes and nothing else other than these 4.
Choose oddly specific things.
Yes.
I would like to go with my backstage suggestion from last week, which was eclairs.
Eclairs. Is there a specific kind of eclair, or is it general?
I was gonna
eclairs?
leave it broad so that in the future I can argue things like, is a hot dog an eclair?
Oh, I love that.
I just want those conversations.
Okay, all right, I understand. Okay, eclairs.
I think it makes like cups of noodles.
Oh, cup of noodle, yes.
But the flavoring packets got like all jumbled up, so you never know what flavor you're gonna get.
Oh,
mystery
flavor, like a white
and it might be strawberry. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, I love that. Cup of noodle surprise. Gnome, what is your contribution to this very strange thing that now lives on your ship?
Wheatgrass.
That's it. Yum.
That's the tweet.
That's it. Just wheatgrass.
Is it like little shots or does it just spit out? Okay, little wheatgrass shots.
Not just blaze. Yeah, the little shots.
Oh, nice. So it's supposed to have I imagine there's probably an espresso maker that comes with it, and it's extremely disappointing when it never makes coffee, but only wheatgrass shots.
Oh.
This is like very quickly taking a turn into like the worst things it could make. I don't know if I want to contribute to that. I still fall victim to it, but I also love it. Okay. Yeah, it's just gonna be hard-boiled eggs.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Hard-boiled eggs. Wheatgrass shots.
We are very healthy.
Cup of noodle surprise and eclairs.
Eclairs.
Which could be hot dogs. God, See, I'm gonna ask you to roll, and then you're gonna roll great, and I'll be like, well. All right. So this is what you get. You carry these things back to your ship, and the lovely folks who have docked your ship and helped kind of the valet service on this planet. They recommend like a great mechanic who will be able to do this for you, and you can arrange. Once you drop Daenerys' name, like the ARC, once again, they're like, oh man, like for a friend of Daenerys, super happy to do it, like no charge. They're gonna install these modules for you.
I have a question about that.
Both raised our hands.
Where is that Eldritchin going?
Oh, that is a good
because at the
question.
moment, the only free spot on Wanda that can fit the Eldritchin is gun turret A.
That's where it's going then.
It can't go right here. Wait, I'm trying to do the bouncy thing.
If you left click and hold down.
Here, like right here in front of the engine.
Oh,
no, it's gotta sit in one of these black spaces for a module.
I mean, we can't put a gun anytime soon.
Well, that's true.
I will say, yes, you can absolutely give up your gun turret and install this Eldritchin, but you will never be able to use a gun unless you get rid of your Eldritchin.
We can't even use Little Voice as a gun if we.
Oh, yes, you. I believe Little Voice can just do it
anywhere.
No, not anywhere. Restriction.
Oh.
I believe you need an empty space. He has to be able to set up in a particular space.
What size is the space?
Yeah, let me see.
yeah.
Gun turret. It's a 2x2.
Yeah.
A free area on the ship that's at least 2x2 squares.
Okay.
How does we establish?
So it doesn't.
Atash is so taken by their new friends, and also in all of the months that they have been traveling on Wanda, has never actually needed the cryo chamber. And so Atash will unoffload, will be happily offer to offload the cryo chamber. Maybe that's part of to let us get away with a $50,000 pot tool.
Does the cryo
yeah.
chamber add to our livability, or am I wrong?
I think that's the healing bay that does. The cryo chamber is just storage space for bods and prisoners.
Okay.
For bots.
Yeah. Eldritch does add to our livability rating.
Yes, and so does the healing
Oh,
bay,
it
which is why I
does.
don't want to get rid of that.
The cryo chamber does increase livability by 1.
Oh, you're totally right. The healing bay
I was
does
going
not.
to ask a question. Since we've established that this is basically like just a fridge rather than a full Eldritchin, could we fit it in half the space?
Lisa,
What if
wheeling and dealing over
I
here.
know. What if it fits in half the space, but we can make social role decreasing meals less often?
I am willing to, since we've already put penalties on it, I'm willing to go ahead and just give you the half-sized fridge and keep everything else the same here. And we can go ahead and take over this space.
The
Great.
reason I was researching...
Yeah, you caught me in a good mood.
Yeah.
So I imagine that it's called an Eldritchin because it's actually like these like arcane eldritch creatures, but they've been magic to just look like kitchen equipment so that people don't freak out.
Yes.
But because ours is broken and glitching, sometimes when we walk into the Eldritchin, it's just like Cthulhu is sitting in there.
Yeah, there's just like a like a maw opening up like where the sink is.
But not every time.
Yeah. You never know. If I think it scares you in the night sometimes when you're just trying to get some water. And the tentacle is there, and you're like, oh, God. I think that's a penalty enough to just... So now you have a sweet broken Eldritchin.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. This is great. Wanda just gets classier every day. Yeah, and of course, the whole time you're bringing this on, Wanda is like, you don't expect me to do any cooking for you, right? That is absolutely not happening.
I think it's fully automated, Wanda. We can make you a, let's see, cup of noodles, if you would like, or an eclair. Do we think that includes hot dogs?
Why would that include hot dogs?
Well,
That makes
Yellow
no
Gloss
sense.
mentioned it earlier, and I thought it was a good question.
Does anybody else hear screaming?
What is that?
Yes. I was wondering if my receptor was malfunctioning.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Wanda just turns off comms. She's just she's done. So we have got our ship modules all fitted up. Very cool. And just go ahead and whenever y'all get a second, upgrade those shield charges and everything. But otherwise, yes. Was there any other business you wanted to attend to before Denier contacts you all? Lisa, is there anything Tsela Gloss would like to do?
Tsela Gloss would like to get things that would go into sort of like a little on-the-go disguise kit. She wants to get some clothing that isn't her Mortem Syndicate issued clothing.
Yeah.
Since that was she had like a SpongeBob closet where it was like all the same thing.
Yeah.
And also face paint so she can kind of change what the spots on her head look like.
Oh, yeah, very good. Yeah, and I think you can definitely, procure those things. What kind of outfit are you picking up?
Ooh, probably something like nondescript. Like if black is as popular as it is today, she's just got like an all black, super plain clothing, so she can't be identified.
Yeah, you can definitely, get some things to help.
It's
disguise
I'm
yourself.
realizing it's exactly the same as the Mortem Syndicate, but without the logo.
Oh, yeah. Yep. You're like, wow, look at this cute sundress. Oh, Wait. But you can definitely mix up your wardrobe a little bit. Anything else for you? I will say too, since that scare with the paper happened, you can definitely like kind of start poking around on the ComplNet and looking out, and it seems that a bounty has been put out on you at this point, and it lists you as a wanted criminal who may have been responsible for the death of her parents and siblings. So wanted for questioning. So.
I was actually gonna say after, because I saw the picture too, so I was actually gonna say that I would spend some time looking, poking about on the, well, I was going to say internet because I didn't remember ComplNet. But just to see who that was, not because I think it's Tsela Gloss, but because how wild. What if she's mistaken for this criminal?
Yeah.
I make a bunch of ComplNet accounts and I put comments on all these articles about how this, doesn't look like she did anything. This seems like a weird conspiracy theory, and comments like that.
Yeah, you see all these posts, on these bounty boards with all these weird comments on them. Apparently there's, Atash, there's some talk about this girl who, is basically, she was an heiress from Ozobni. She seems to look an awful lot like your friend Tsela Gloss, but again, the name is different. Maybe it's not her. Like, it's not the best photo. It's sort of a headshot in bad lighting that has been submitted to all of these sites. But basically wanted for questioning, suspected of basically offing her family and running away. So all inquiry is supposed to go to Ozobni. This address is listed. This very famous billionaire on Ozobni is extremely concerned and needs information about the whereabouts of this Eno.
I think I mean to share that information with Vam Fam and get distracted by a new crystal.
Yeah, no, we don't have a fugitive on board.
Probably not. I truly though, I don't think Atash thinks Tsela Gloss is that criminal. I think they were worried that we're going to get stopped and Tsela Gloss is going to be mistaken for that criminal. I don't think it even crosses Atash's mind that lovely Tsela Gloss could possibly be this hardened murdering criminal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Rather than just black clothing, I'm actually going to say Tsela Gloss looks like she shopped at a 90s Hot Topic.
Okay.
And also there's lots of like hoods that cover her face and like her ears stick out and she's got like fake piercings.
Oh, cool. So Tsela Gloss has a new look when she comes back. Anything else for Atash that you want to accomplish in these couple days here?
No, that was my big thing, was to sort of look into that. I already sent word out to Lou and Ola. No, I mean, does it need to be said that any other free moments are spent crystal hunting?
You can find some like new age stores and shop for a couple new crystals for your collection.
But again, I'm sure they want to tell me about all the properties of it, and I'm like, with it the prettiest.
Yeah, and they're like, I don't understand.
This one works. And fine. And for Kurthith, don't worry, I won't hurt anybody.
Okay.
With this, I mean, I've hurt people. It doesn't matter here.
Okay. Yeah, and they're like, just get out of our store. And Gnome, is there anything that Little Voice would like to do or accomplish during these couple of days here?
Well, if it isn't spent like assisting anybody else with the crew, if they had something that they needed to go do, I think he just kind of quietly tags along, as his protocol is really, prescribed. I do think in his free time, though, I would like him to find some like better gardening supplies and some he's a conservationist, and Wanda is this massive, beautiful, living, breathing biome. Just things to better take care of Wanda to keep her in the best shape he possibly can.
Very cool. I think, if you want to go ahead and like put together maybe a toolkit and sort of add that to your character sheet, I think great. Definitely, add that on there. And then whenever you make rolls to interact with Wanda, just remind me of that. And I think, with these tools, you can reduce those complexities. Cool. Very cool. And Vam, what are you up to over these couple of days? Anything you want to get done while you're in the big city?
Well, we've had our VamCon. It was successful. We posted pictures. We updated the pages. But after some nice social interaction, we will heavily be spending time on the CompleNet, searching the omniscient language. How many people now still speak it, if anyone, where to find books on it, where to do research. Like, if there's anything related to this language that can help me study it.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and make me probably, I think the first step of this is getting the appropriate research materials, because this isn't going to be something you can like easily, look up on Complipedia. This is going to be something like, people spend their whole lives studying the omniscience and trying to, it's kind of like looking at, ancient Egypt and trying to like parse what their civilization was like, right? So let's go ahead and do a roll to just even find a place to start. So I'm going to call this a complexity 3. And what kind of check would you like to, or skill would you like to use to find resources and materials to study?
Probably streetwise. Just knowing where the right places to go are to learn about this.
You can even, lean on your network of the VamFam and be like, where do I even start? If you want to, or if you don't want to put that out there, that's also a valid choice.
I mean, we did already shove it in everyone's face at the con.
Tsela Glass did warn you that this may attract the wrong attention if you're just in public internet forums, though.
Yeah. Well, what about my private ones, like my own little Discord?
My private Discord, but
the
things like that aren't really private.
The true fans.
my OnlyFans account. OnlyFans. Oh, Bug Life.
No, but you know what? Since you did mention when I was prancing the ball around, that a couple people here and there were like, oh, my cousin does this, and oh, maybe you can learn about it here. I'll look up those places and those names that people mentioned.
Got it.
And see if that leads to anything.
All right. Then I'll say this is still going to be a complexity 3, since you're, using some discretion. You don't have the full power of the VamFam behind you.
No.
So yeah, you are. Wow. Yeah, 222. That is meant to fail. So you are doing your best to even get a handle on where to start, and immediately, like, the CompleNet is just there's so much questioning about the omniscience and not a lot of actual data to back things up. The omniscient that most people know about is actually the one who's responsible for, like, bringing the Gleans kind of into the rest of Olaxis and the Third Bryte. So most of the information is available on them. I'll go ahead and look up that name for next time. I know it's a really fun name that I've totally forgotten. But it's just so hard to, like, because again, it's all this cursory research, and there are people who've done their whole PhDs on, studying the omniscience and trying to guess at, like, what their words and cultures and symbols meant. And people generally agree that the omniscient alphabet is extremely powerful. In fact, it is the language of magic and used in the creation of a lot of magical rituals, but people can only guess as to why this is all so magical. So you just keep spinning down into these rabbit holes, and you do make some contacts with people, but they have highly specialized fields of interest, and these conversations are very difficult. So I'm going to say it's not a lost cause, but I think over these 2 days you are trying really hard and making almost no progress forward. Meanwhile, this thing, just kind of sits there, and it doesn't speak to you. It doesn't make that noise again. It just seems to be this stone ball that you're carrying around now. The stone mystery ball. I think it's probably frustrating after a couple of days of this.
Definitely. After several hours, like, cooped up in our room, what we'll do is just try to, like, when you put a piece of paper over, I don't know, something with a surface, a texture, and you rub a pencil, sideways over it, you get kind of an image.
Yeah.
We'll do that to like the grooves of this carved stone and try and get like a printed out view of the language that's carved into it.
Yeah.
And we'll hang that up into our room and tuck the stone away into the shrubbery that's grown into our space.
Yeah. Rest
Yeah.
now in the bushes. You put the stone in the bushes. So that's how you all are spending these. I think it's probably about a day before Denier actually contacts you and says, hey, like, I've gotten everything I can. She sends a message to you all, like a text basically, and it's like, hey, I've gotten everything I can. Could you meet me at my place tomorrow for dinner, and I'll share everything I found. She's like, big news, exclamation point. And gives you the address.
Shall we bring dinner?
I'll bring the hard-boiled eggs.
Oh my god. All right. I love that. You're just going to show up. I think you can make at least like deviled eggs with it. I'll say you figure out after some hours you can make like deviled eggs. You're like, awesome. That's sort of better.
We can put an egg in the
and
ramen.
Celeste is coming out.
Yeah, I'm like,
So
You can't
upsetting.
just bring deviled
Naked.
you can't just bring hard-boiled. You're going to kill me.
We all just want to host parties, okay? It's been a long year.
I haven't dreamed of menus. I got a KitchenAid and I want to use it.
Oh no.
Oh gosh. Anyway, too real. Let's go back to the future. Okay, so you all get your deviled eggs, and you head down to this address. So this is, on the second day that you're in Tsela. And basically, Denier's apartment is in this very specific part of Tsela, which is kind of taken over by the ARC. It's almost like a Navy base for the ARC, where they have a bunch of laboratories. They have a bunch of places where they store equipment. People can go there for like job boards. There are cafeteria spaces. Basically, anyone ARC, like, this is the place to go, and they will set you up. So to get there, you go down to the lowest part of this mining city, which is kind of built on all of these tiered rings. And then you actually have to take an elevator that descends much closer towards the core of the planet, where there's this lower system of caverns here. So you pile up, of course, into this elevator system, which is run by a few ARC members. And of course, you just let them know that Denier, sent you. And you go down, down, down this very long elevator ride into the darkness, moving towards the core of the planet, where it's getting a couple degrees warmer. And eventually land at this base. You make your way through, winding through these large buildings. Kind of looks like a college campus. As you find, this very tall stone structure that's clearly a bunch of apartments just jammed on top of each other. Walk up a set of stairs, and eventually you are at Denier's place. And I think Atash / Eugenio, this is a Zavoy's apartment.
Yeah.
And as a voice serving you dinner. So what is that? I think Zavoy probably have a meal that they make like for other people. That's like sort of a hybrid between them and us. Since they are a very hospitable species.
Yes.
I really hope it's hard-boiled eggs.
The egg stink in this episode is so
It is
real.
Unreal.
It is unreal levels of egg stink.
No, I think so they're very hospitable, and they're also very like conservation minded, right? Because their planet sort of went into crisis, and we got very good at conservation. So it's it's surprisingly tasty, and half the reason I think we make it is to watch other people's faces when we first serve it, and then watch them enjoy it afterwards. But it's basically sort of a casserole, a hash, what have you, of like compost stuff, right?
Yeah.
Stuff that you would ordinarily not think of as actually wanting to go in the food. So like, fruit rinds and
carrot tops,
eggshells and carrot tops and stuff that is not usually used, but the Zivoi have this way of sort of flavoring it and spicing it and cooking it so that it becomes a palatable texture and actually quite a delightful taste. The final smells great. The lead up's not so much.
Yes. Yeah. So I think you are invited into Daenerys' apartment for this delicious, surprisingly delicious meal. And you see, her apartment, I think, is very Spartan compared to like other species' apartment. It's not very knick-knacky the way other species tend to be. A lot of the furniture is very smooth and rounded, without much need for cushions or anything. I imagine everything looks like a Henry Moore sculpture. So all these very rounded, like bulbous edges that are very interesting to lay on, when your body is sort of amorphous. So a lot of these like very 70s like chairs around this place. So she invites you all to, sit down, and she calls, out from the kitchen. Any of you interested in drinks? I have a couple delicacies I've collected sort of from all over the place. A little bit of a connoisseur.
Do you have milk?
Yes. Anything in it or just...
In a plate, please.
Yeah. We can do that. And you, little voice, I have some excellent fluids here, just for my shop. Anything?
Oh, yes, please.
What do we? And she, put a couple different like varieties of like very nice oils that she has. She's like, it's sort of my job to welcome new ARC members, so I try to keep a bunch of different things on hand.
Very kind of you. The hazelnut blend would be lovely.
Oh, yes. Good one. She, pours that for you. What do Roynan... We established Roynans really like sugary things like nectar, I think, and stuff in season 1, right?
Yeah, I don't quite recall what the drink was called, but I remember it looking like a purple drink with like some pearlescent glitter swirling within it, like its own little galaxy. But it was like a nectar of some really beautiful flower. Yeah,
and she definitely has some nectars available for you. So you get all set up and have this great meal, and she's very, kind and welcoming. She seems really excited to be back in her own space and to have people around. And when things kind of like wind down, she does look at you all and says, "Well, I do have quite a bit to tell you if you all are still interested, that is, in helping me. I did mention it before that I was interested in hiring you all to pursue these robots, and honestly, I'm still by that, and now more so than ever with what I now know."
Well, we've already spent your advance, so yes, I think we do want the information.
Oh.
So we can help you.
Well then, yeah. All right. Good. Wow, that was fast.
I burned the hole in my, not pocket. That's the thing.
I get you. Yeah, well, here's the thing. So I was able to follow up on some of that data. I did manage to get a tracker on those robots. I only got to a certain location before, of course, it must have been discovered because it was destroyed. But the relay data I found, apparently the robots, after, attacking us, took the plasma back to this planet called Yalbis. Yalbis 5. Have you ever heard of it? It's
Have we ever heard of it?
I don't know. I think off the top of your head, you're like, it's one of those places where you're like, maybe, it sounds kind of familiar. And she's like, yeah, I've never really been there myself, but it's a heart world, a moon.
Oh.
Yeah, it's apparently a real quiet kind of place. Lots of overguild types have family homes and vacation there. Just sort of a suburb planet, if you will. But anyway, yeah, the chip, it was headed toward Erva Port, which is sort of a small city. Nothing too much notable about it, I guess just sort of a nice kind of uppity town.
Is it near an established system, or is it an outlier, or?
I mean, it's in the Heartworld. That's that kind of cluster
It's like the
of planets.
center,
Yeah,
yeah.
right here. Actually, I have a map. Let me.
I feel like Tsela may have, if people go there to vacation and stuff, maybe she's familiar with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Atash might be also, because though it is often easy to forget, Atash is actually from the Dryte system, right in the center of the Heart World.
Oh yeah. So I think you probably, after hearing Denier kind of talk about it, you're like, oh yeah, Yalbis. Because the thing is, it's just one of many moons of Yalbis, and all of the moons are just like these nice places where really rich people can buy property and build nice houses. It totally is like a suburb planet. So I don't think you've ever been there, unless your family had a home there. But this is the type of place you go, and like, the overguild bosses will like have their kids and their spouses there, and they go to school and like grow up while they're traveling about doing business, in the galaxy. That's the kind of place this is. So it's not somewhere you would have been. I think maybe Tsela Glass, because did you grow up on Ozobni, or? Yeah. So I think you've probably, your dad sometimes did business in places like this. Your mom would occasionally like go out and discuss with some of the other, because these are very safe places for the Overguild to meet and do their business. So maybe for sales or trade deals. I don't know if you've ever been there. Maybe you had friends in school who lived there on planets,
So,
like this.
All right. So not necessarily like a tourist destination, but
Yeah, they're definitely built to cater to the rich and the Overguild specifically.
okay.
Yeah, nothing too notable. They don't have like great locations and port cities and like exciting. It's very odd that a group of robots carrying that much plasma would be going to a planet like this.
You would think they would stand out, be noticed.
Right.
Strange.
From what I understand, I mean, it's mostly just, the Overguild bosses and their families, and sort of the looking for a quiet life between business trips. I don't see why a bunch of these robots would be going there. That's very strange. I also know, I mean, the Central Overguild, they have a big presence there. Of course, big security on planets like this, since they're, so desirable. Everyone's always trying to get there. So, I don't know. Maybe the Centrals are in on it? Otherwise, something very strange is going on.
If the Overguilds are involved, this certainly has become sort of next level.
Exactly. And, those Overguilds, who knows? Who knows what they're doing? They don't have Olaxis, the people at heart. I think we can all agree on that. So whatever they're doing with this much plasma, I don't like it. It gives me a bad feeling. And like I said, I would love if you could go there, find out what they're doing, who hired these robots, so we know how to even approach this.
It's been a while since I've been that close to home. I suppose now's as good a time as any.
Will we have access to your tracking chip while we make our way over there? Make sure we hone in.
Unfortunately, the chip was destroyed. So I'm guessing the chip goes to Erva Port, and then the signal was lost. So I'm guessing whenever these robots unloaded or filed out, or maybe they were just stopping there, but somebody found the chip and destroyed it. So hopefully just by accident, but they might be onto you. Or us, I guess.
Do you suppose there's any way they could retrace the tracking signal back to you?
I mean, somebody with enough money to hire that many self-automated robots, yeah, they probably have the tech to figure out where the chip came from.
Then we shouldn't linger, and probably neither should you.
Yeah, what are they going to do? They're going to come here and take down a whole planet? The whole ARC's here. Well, I mean, a big chunk of it. As big a place as, the ARC is anywhere in Olaxis, and she sort of gets a little bit more slimy as, she's stressed out.
Tsela Gloss is also kind of sweating, thinking about returning to the Heart Worlds, but since cats don't sweat, she's just kind of got her mouth open and is panting.
Yeah.
As far as we know, you're from Golgi, right, Tsela Gloss?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Are you okay? Nearly.
What's the same thing?
I push my tongue back in my mouth. It seems dangerous, and I worry for you, Denier. You should lay low.
Well, I mean, they can't trace it exactly back to me, so they can just really trace it to ARC. I'm not too worried about it, Also, if those cowards want to come back here and, deal with me after taking down my whole ship and losing some of my crew, kind of welcome it. Give them a piece of my mind.
What about you, little voice? Do you have any strong connections to PAX? We'll be in the neighborhood again.
It has been many years since I have been to PAX. Since my 11th year.
Oh, well, that's auspicious, isn't it? I think it's time for a couple of us to go have a home reunion. But not really. We can wave at it from the system.
There might be more pressing matters, such as a planet filled with an unnecessary amount of stolen.
Oh, right. Of course.
I can't, I just can't figure out what. I'm sorry, what was that?
I had a question, Denier.
Yeah.
We may not have a tracking device any longer, but perhaps do you have a sensor where we could trace this large quantity of plasma?
Oh.
Yeah, well, most of
In
our...
the Heart World, there shouldn't be that many.
That's a pretty good point. I mean, most of our tech was destroyed when the mining rig went down, but I bet we could probably get you something, something a little bit more mobile than a full module itself. Let me ask around. I do think it's really important that y'all leave here quickly. Again, I hate to think about what they're doing with that much plasma. The list of possibilities is short, and honestly, very few of them are good. So, I'll ask around. Yeah.
Ita's just bouncing between Little Voice and Denier and Tsela Gloss and just says, I think we might have it well in hand, Denier. I think we're going to be okay.
Oh. Well, I appreciate the confidence. I really do. That's everything I have. I wish I had more, but I'll ask around tonight and see what I can do about getting you some plasma sensors. And then I guess I can meet you by your ship before you leave tomorrow.
Perfect.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all. For, saving my life, saving my friends, helping the ARC. You all really are some heroes. Jade had nothing but good things to say about you, and they're all true.
For everything that the ARC does for this galaxy, it is about time we are able to return the favor.
Well, I really appreciate that. Thank you. And with that, you all can, head on back, pack up your stuff. Yes. Yeah.
So when we get back to our delightful little B&B,
Oh, yes.
when we are still the four of us together, but no one else is around, Itash's gonna turn to Tsela Gloss and say, "Okay, Fiella, it's time to come clean."
What do you mean, Itash?
Now, Fiella, I watched that whole interchange, and I think I know why you were so nervous about heading to that place to seek out these robots.
And oh, really? And what do you think exactly?
Oh, Fiella, we're all friends. Are you gonna make me say it?
I really don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Fam, little voice. Fiella here is an expert plasma tracker. That's why she was so nervous. She has all this ability with magic. She can tell when there's plasma about. That's why we don't have to worry about a plasma tracker.
I do have
This is fantastic.
okay.
Yes, it's going to be so easy now. We're going to be in and out in 2 seconds.
It will be so easy, so not dangerous. This is great. I love this. I love that we are going there.
We are
good. I'm
certainly
glad we
lucky to
partnered
have
with
you
you.
as our team member.
Oh,
Adjusting my volume.
thank goodness. You have an expert plasma tracker. Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, that's true.
Fact.
So you have this conversation, and happy as can be, you all are ready to head to sleep, and then roll out tomorrow. You do know that the heart world. The heart worlds, you are currently in the mid-belt, so it's going to be like 3-4 days of space flight before you get to the moon, to the city. Since it's space, everything's far away from each other, so you will have some time on board the ship to take care of whatever preparations you would like to make before you actually get onto Yalbis. So we ready to go ahead and load up and get back on Wanda and hit space again?
To be clear, does Denier in fact come back with some sort of plasma trackers?
Denier will come back. So she, if you all are ready to, if we all ready to segue off, as you all come with your bags, your satchels, and Wanda has been pulled out of this kind of honeycomb storage system that they have on this planet here, and is ready to go. Denier is already waiting for you all, and you see she has a big backpack thing that just looks like it looks like a Ghostbusters rig, honestly, that she has, and clearly it is very uncomfortable for her to be carrying around in her squishy form. She's sort of trying to do the best she can with this heavy thing, and as you get up to her, she's like, "Well, I was able to find something, but this is sort of the best I could do in terms of mobile."
Oh, thank goodness. And I just hug her squishy body.
She's like, "Yeah, okay. Yeah, because usually, these sensors, they're just for ships. So I had to go back. The archaeology lab, though, had this." And you're looking at this dubious piece of machinery she's carrying. I think there's kind of like a wand that sort of looks like a vacuum thing, and she's like, "If you point this, apparently it'll ping." So, sorry, this is honestly the best I could do.
This is perfect. And Tsela's almost crying. She's so relieved.
So is that it's a plasma dowsing rod?
Basically, yes. Yeah, that's attached to this gigantic backpack that you're assuming maybe it's a battery pack? I don't know. Little voice, you're looking at this. You're like, who built this? It's clearly so inefficient for the size it is. There's lots of extra tubes and canisters, and you're like, why? Yes. So, she will happily hand this off to you, Tsela, and be like, "Please just take it away." Kind of, sighs.
I'm a tiny 3 foot 11.5 inch kitty cat. And so the backpack's probably as big as I am.
Yeah, basically as big as you. And it is heavy. This is a heavy piece of machinery. So, you kind of bend backwards a little bit when you are carrying this thing.
Fantastic.
I feel like Little Voice would be behind them, just like
holding it.
just
Pushing with a
holding
finger.
Yeah, just like, you've got this. You are doing great.
You're fine. I am gravity. This is fine. Yes, and of course, Denier will say farewells, and you do have her number and, of course, her email address. So in case you need anything, she and Jade are just a call away. So you all load back up onto Wanda, and we launch back into space. Yay! Blast off!
I don't know what do we say now?
Nothing. It's not the end. So as you take off from this planet, and once again you find yourselves coursing through Olaxis, you now are moving further than you have in recent memory towards the center of Olaxis. And as you do so, you are not in those regions of space anymore where you go for miles and miles and hours without seeing anyone. The further you get, the more ships you see moving through space here. You see, merchant vessels. You see other, heroes taking off on their ships, heading back out towards the mid-belt, and the outer rims to help out. You begin to see patrols from the overguilds, which are sort of like, the cops of space, just like keeping order, making sure, patrolling the region, that there are no pirates, that there are no monsters, any of the myriad of troubles that you experience in the other world. So you can, after, about a half day of travel, you can feel pretty comfortable to not have to, watch your systems as closely as you would in those outer regions of Olaxis, and just kind of set an autocorrect and head on, cruise on into the heart worlds where it's so much safer. Yeah, I think that like psychic burden of like, it's a little bit better. You all are suspicious, so maybe not, but it's fine. We're gonna be fine. So that means that you do have, 4 or 5 days to yourselves at this point. And I think I wanted to spend a little bit of time with you, Gnome, in particular, doing kind of a flashback look at Little Voice's story. So I think I want to hear a little bit more, I think, about this little memorial device that you have in your room. Can you tell us a little bit more about what exactly it looks like? Is it a photo? Is it commemorating someone? What is this object?
It is not a photo. In fact, it's just a small circuit board that has 2 prongs that kind of have like a little eternal spark that lights up between the 2 of them. So it's just like a repeater circuit. And that's it. That is Little Voice's way of memorializing someone who he had lost that was very important to him. And so that goes with him wherever he goes.
And when Little Voice looks at this, what does Little Voice think about?
I look back and feel pain and sadness at all of the lives unnecessarily lost to greed, corruption, or less nefarious, desperate need to survive. But more importantly, looking at this memorial, I am reminded of Una, a young Getak, who was my student.
And the day you got this device, what was that day like? The day when you learned that you would need something to memorialize your friend. How did it start?
As any sad story goes, it is forever etched within my protocols. And as fearsome as the burning is, losing someone you care for is more fearful, knowing that, unlike you, unlike me, Peacecraft, they will never return. I lost part of my body that day in battle with with Ona. We were attacked by pirates common to an area of Ivlin, where I was there to work with all of the different species, trying to negotiate peace and resource management. But greed corrupts many, especially when there's that need to survive. And when I lost part of myself and was rebuilt into Little Voice 11, this is a piece of Little Voice 10 that I keep with in honor of Ona.
And Una, that day, was it just you and she? Were there others with you?
There were several others from the conservation team. We have a small outpost that was, we were stationed there to protect resources and to distribute as needed. And unfortunately, when you have a wealth of resource at the ready, you are a very easy target. The entire sector was attacked. Many lost their lives that day, but we are trained to fight, to protect, armed as necessary. And Ona fought well, fought with everything that I could teach her. But it was not her time to move forward. Her existence ended there.
And since, when you were rebuilt as Little Voice 11, back with your fellow Peacecraft, when you woke up and you remembered what happened, do you know where Una's body is? Did you ever get a chance to actually say goodbye?
No. I returned. Quite recently. But I could find no trace of her. I've asked, I've traded, I've performed jobs for work in order to pay people to help. But no sign. It's why I joined with the ARC in hope that my travels someone would know anything.
And what does Una look like in those moments, when you look at this piece and have to kind of confront those memories and sort of piece together what happened? When you remember her, what does she look like in your mind? What is the image that you hold of her in your mind?
Brave, outspoken, a warrior at heart, but a peacecraft in mind. She wanted nothing more than to stand tall despite being short. To make a difference for her people, for the people around her, for those suffering at the hands of the chaos that is the burn. She always wore this orange jacket. That's why I wear it now. It was with me when I was rebuilt.
Yeah. And now she's gone. And really gone. And not going to be rebuilt. I think when you were waking up too, maybe the other Peacecraft didn't quite understand. I think it's pretty rare for Peacecraft to have these kind of meaningful relationships. Is that one of the reasons you chose to leave PAX? Or how did terms end there?
There are those on PAX who they believe violence will solve problems. That is not my path. That is not what I believe. will help protect the rest of us. It was not on good terms. My supposed family essentially disconnected me from the resources, from the knowledge, and I wander separate, but at peace with the separation, knowing that the work that I will do now is of my own free will and of peaceful accord.
I think it's pretty amazing how for a species that calls themselves peacecraft and this anti-war tendency, how much society has changed since the Burn started to claim peacecraft. I think
when you feel fear, it is easy to forget what peace means.
Yeah. And I think even as you tried to tell them that and they told you not to worry about Una, why would you? Maybe going back to PAX isn't something that Little Voice thinks too fondly of. And I think, in those empty moments, in those quiet spaces, these are the things your thoughts turn to as you are traveling with these new companions, fighting alongside new people. And maybe there is that fear, too, that if you get too close, it will happen again.
The end is almost inevitable. It is something I do not wish to see for those whom I care for, and I fear I am caring for those around me.
Heavy thoughts as you're drifting through space, getting ever closer towards Pax, to that planet who doesn't quite understand you. And for the rest of you, again, we have these 4 days. Is there anything else in particular you would like to do? Anything you were spending your time thinking about, studying, preparing before you get to this planet, this little suburban world with this secret robot population?
Ciela Gloss is searching on the net things like finding plasma and what does plasma smell like, and those sorts of things, just in case. And she gets more and more irritated and like visibly stressed the closer they get to the heart worlds. And I think on one of the last days, she'll knock on Atash's door.
At this point, Atash has probably put Oppo back on, because the reality is she's a sturdier bod, and who knows what we're gonna go into here. So at this point, Atash is back in the Ulrun body. Yes. Hello. Good evening, Ciela Glass.
Atash, I have a confession to make. I do not know how to find plasma.
Oh.
And now everybody
All right.
thinks that I can find plasma, and
Yeah.
and
Oh.
you're looking nice. You're in this
Oh, no.
different body now.
Oh, thank you. Oh, no, it's all right. I feel a bit bad. I have to say, I thought I'd really nailed that one, but we have the denier provided that it's. Oh, Ciela Glass. No, it's all right.
You think so?
I do. Yes, of course.
You'll be all right.
Yes.
The thing is, there might be people that I know on the moon where we are going, but I don't
Great news.
know.
No.
But I don't want them to know that I am visiting.
Oh, because you want it to be a surprise?
Because, okay, I don't know why I'm using that voice. It's Atash. You are really good at putting on other personas. Kind of literally. No, actually literally.
Literally, yeah. Mhm.
And I haven't been... So I've been putting on a different persona. You could understand that, right?
Let's say yes for now. Mm-hmm.
Well, these people don't know this other persona, and I'm good with that. And that's the person I want to be moving forward.
And Itesh takes apologies to Ciela Gloss, but probably way longer than either of us would like to respond.
She
But
starts
eventually,
picking at her claws.
Yeah.
yeah, and just which is sort of a thing that Itesh does when they're in an Olrin body, like just very stone still, if you will. But eventually, they'll just sort of quickly nod a couple times and say, "Okay."
Okay. All right. Everything will be okay. Everything will be fine.
Yeah. Yes, it will.
And Ciela Gloss
Go
is
ahead.
just going to like turn, stop at the door, kind of turn and smile and leave, having no idea Atosh might think she killed her entire family.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to say that to you yet. I think as Ciela is leaving, I think Atash will say, "Oh, one thing. When you want to let the rest of the crew know what's up, I've got your back, Lula."
Ciela Gloss is like taken aback and shocked, and then just I guess like her brain is just trying to make things make sense, and she's like, must have misheard Atash. And she says, I think I will soon.
No rush.
She
In your own
leaves.
time. All right. Atash is going to have to spend some time staring at some crystals now. That was a lot.
That was a lot. That was a lot of species interaction. Now I need to recharge with my quartz. And Vam, I think over these few days, a couple strange things happen. But let's just ask, what are you spending your time? Are you doing more research, kind of trying to get more leads on this weird object that has come into your possession?
Yeah, but it's leading to like a lot of rabbit holes into weird things that we weren't ready to learn about just yet.
Right.
And a lot of just
That's the
fixating-
compliment for you.
Yeah, exactly. Just a lot of fixating on that piece of paper of the language that I managed to sketch out. Ouch. And just kind of seeing if I noticed any sort of pattern, any lines or dots connecting while I like kind of get pulled into a trance just staring at it.
Sure. And I think maybe it's during one of these trances that you hear like a of something moving. And like, you turn around and there's the ball on the ground. It's not in the bush anymore. It's like a foot closer to where you were. But
You
it's still
stand
there,
up?
just on the floor.
I'll move a foot closer to it.
Okay. It stays sitting on the floor.
Take a few more steps closer, standing in front of it.
Yeah, I think, you examine it, you roll it around again. It must have just been your imagination, you conclude, after, an hour or so of waiting. But over the course of those 4 days, it's definitely not the only time something like that happens. You will leave your quarters, and you'll come back into the room, and the ball will be, like, right by the door. Or you'll kind of wake up, and the ball will be just a little bit closer to where you were. when you fell asleep. Just odd things. And it's never much. It's just, and you never see it happen. It's just sort of strange. And sometimes when you're asleep, you swear you hear it making some kind of noise. Again, those notes. The weird notes of that song. That empty, echoing song. But it must just be a dream.
That's so many things for it to just be a dream. Are you kidding me? Oh, God. Van probably is like, perhaps this thing has some sort of magnetic field that draws itself towards me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's drawn to your magnetic personality.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it has separation anxiety. Something is like, this ball has an agenda, but we don't know what it is. So, it, as a measure of trying to like stop these weird little occurrences from happening, we're just going to keep it on our person at all times instead of leaving it behind, which didn't want to have to do, but this is starting to not make less and less sense the more I try to rationalize what these little things mean. So we're just going to keep it right in our little belly.
Yeah, and you know, when you start doing that, maybe around the second day, you just start carrying it, all the weird things stop. It doesn't move, it doesn't.
Good.
It's just a weird stone ball that now you're constantly carrying the weight of. But I think that's sort of what's happening over those 4 days. And like I said, the journey to Yalbis is super peaceful, very quiet. Every once in a while, you know, you are asked by these kind of overguild patrols, like, you know, just for your credits, your paperwork as you are moving closer towards the Heart Worlds. But that's all pretty standard. You know, your ship is registered, everything's fine. So you keep on creeping your way towards Yalbis and its many suburban moons. And I think when you come within like an hour of the planet or so, Wanda chimes in over the overcom systems here, and she says, we're getting a hail urgent message. Do you want me to put it through?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Clearly, Vam and Atesh have learned to be polite with Wanda at all times.
And she, all right, playing it now over voice. And you hear a very jarring robotic sound say, "Turn back now, travelers. We know you come from Tsela, and we know what ARC placed on one of our soldiers. You will be destroyed. Turn back now."
Well, to be fair, you did ask if they could. Oh, nope, in the body. Well, to be fair, you did ask if they could track us.
Mm-hmm. And Wanda says, "Oh boy, you all better get up here to the main view."
Oh no. How many, Wanda?
Yeah, and I think you can kind of run up towards the front here. And as you are looking out of those view screens, this message repeats once again as this robotic voice is giving you this warning, and you see that 2 ships are coming in, kind of flanking you from the planet surface that you see down below. Is this very friendly looking blue and green planet, but these ships are extremely large, and they have like 2 kind of hooks that almost make like piercers on them, and these are very weird looking ships that you see are sort of ominously speeding towards your vessel from the planet's surface.
So, everybody likes eclairs?
And that's where we're gonna stop for today.
That's it.
Oh,
That's
there's the line. There it
Yes.
is. Bing bong. Heck yeah. Oh man, whoa, robot fight. What? Or not. I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe they want to be friends. Anyway.
They totally want to be friends.
They totally want to be friends. This is a friendly show. Yes. But of course, before we do our outros, I want to go ahead and go around and see if anybody feels like they achieved a story path moment today. So checking in with anyone. Gnome, I feel like we definitely hit kind of your...
Yes. I think technically maybe memorialize.
Sure, yeah,
would
so
be...
let's see. I think, well, I definitely wanted to clear kind of your first path to sort of establish things. So tell us a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that first event.
Oops. The first event is you complete this. Oh, God! What? Where did it go? What is it doing?
Oh no!
It's
the
I don't know.
robots!
It moved.
No!
Let's see. You complete this event when you learn about or witness the loss of one or more loved ones. How you feel about the loss and how you react are up to you. However it happens, they are gone from your life for the indefinite future.
Ooh, yeah. So I think we kind of retroactively explored that event and what happened losing your student, Una. So I think we can definitely mark that off of the story path.
Cool.
And what is the reward or the achievement level up that you get from that event?
The level up is you get to select one special ability from your species.
Ooh.
And I'm definitely taking advanced turret.
Whoa, so you can be a bigger gun.
The bigger gun, it does more damage.
Wow. That's timely.
Yep.
Does anyone else feel like they kind of touched on a story path event this time?
I do not, but I have a question.
Yeah. Let's do it.
For story paths, I know it makes sense to do the first one first and probably the last one last, but in between, does it have to go in order?
So some of them specify that you do have to go in order, and some of them say that you can do them in any order. So I believe if it doesn't say, you have to go in order. But also, we're flexible here. We're very flexible here on this show. So if there is a story path that you feel like you have achieved, I am totally comfortable with marking that off, as long as it makes sense.
I'm not there yet, but I have a feeling my next two, I'm not sure what order they'll happen in.
All right, yeah. What? Just out of curiosity, let's all just review what our next kind of story path moment is. So, actually, Lisa, tell us what is it story path moment?
So my next one is fake ID, and I either. Depending on how the next episode goes, if Tsela Gloss shares her secret, she might ask for help making some sort of fake ID, or I might, if I'm in a situation, I might invoke a Mortem Syndicate ID that I already have, because I feel like that would make sense.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, especially I think now that you're in the Heart Worlds, there is a lot more security and bureaucracy here. Yeah. So I think we can definitely create an opportunity if one doesn't come up, for that to come up. And Eugenio, what is Atash's next path?
Let's see. Where's my character sheet go? Here we go. The next one for me is costs of your indulgence. Let me move it over here somewhere. There we go. Let's see. You feel alive. You feel great.
Wow.
This is living after all. So this one, your enjoyment has resulted in forgetting about or ignoring something vital to the team or mission. You complete this event when you fail to live up to your responsibilities on account of your vice.
Oh boy!
Oh, no.
That's gonna be fun.
I apologize to the three of you in advance.
Why not me? No, it's fine. It'll be more fun for me.
It'll be more fun for you. Also, the third one in my story path is going to be a lot of fun for you. So no apologies for you.
Ooh, yay! Chaos tools. And Gnome, what is Little Voice's next event all about?
The next event is not nearly as fun. It's Reminisce. We are going to talk about the loss of the loved one with someone who knew them.
Okay, so we should work together then to come up with maybe...
We might need to,
well, let's connect on that before next time and figure out a little bit more about your relationship with Una. I think that'll be good. And Nassim, what are we looking at for our mystery ball? What's the next path here?
an accidental activation. So it will reveal some of its power by activating in a way that causes an issue for you.
I love all these story paths this
what have we
season.
done?
I just get so much chaos. Last time we were making friends with animals. No. This time. Oh gosh, I am excited. So everyone, you can catch us next week at the exact same time to hear about how all these events go and our overarching robot plot. So please do join us next week, 6 p.m. Pacific time. As a reminder, all of these episodes do get posted up onto the Roll20 YouTube channel. So if you want to check out, of course, our season 1, all of the episodes are there. If you want to recommend the show to a friend, please do. We are definitely trying to get the word out about how awesome Burn Bryte is and the show. So post on social media, make sure to like and follow, let Roll20 know that you love us, that sort of thing. Thank you all so much for being here. And of course, also make sure to follow all these lovely people and support all their work. So let's go around in reverse order. Eugenio, where can the people find you when you're not here in Olaxis?
Hi everybody. You can find me on Twitter and here on Twitch, DM Jazzy Hands on both platforms. Let's see, where can you find me tomorrow night? You can find me over on Mini Train Domains channel playing a game of D&D. We're doing Harper's Tale, Hope and Redemption. 2 weeks ago during our game, I met Sir Cheddar, a mastiff-sized corgi that my gnome is now going to use as a mount. Sir Cheddar is awakened, talks to us, and is a more powerful spellcaster than anyone in the party. So it's gonna be super fun. Also, if you don't think I'm not taking mounted combatant when I hit 4th level, you are dreaming. What else? I stream on my channel on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons and Friday evenings. And then, of course, on Sunday nights, you can catch me over on Cypher of Tears channel for Into the Motherlands. More space, different space, but more space. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/Cypher of Tear. We've got 3 more episodes of Into the Motherlands for this season, and we are crossing our fingers that Twitch is going to invite us back for a season 2. So come hang out and convince Twitch to give us another season.
Yes! I'm excited because I wrote one of the chapters of Harper's Tale, so I'm curious to see what
number chapter
it was either
is it?
6, 7, or 8. I can't remember.
Okay, great.
Not the last
All right,
one, but the one before, the penultimate one.
Okay.
So I'm just going to apologize in advance.
I'll check in with you in like 2 months because we only run every other week. And we
Oh
do
my
a
gosh.
chapter session,
Okay.
So it'll be a while.
Well, it's waiting. And Lisa, where can the folks go and find you when you're not here in space?
Folks can find me on Twitter, Instagram, at Twitch at Lisa Penrose. That's Lisa spelled with a Y. And also at patreon.com/beholdher. My patrons are getting a preview right now of a 1-page RPG that I wrote that I'm super duper excited about and that is coming out soon. So if you want first dibs on information for that, check me out on Patreon. And also definitely give me a follow if you're interested in spooky games, because I am producing a show using the Good Society RPG system called Haunting of Good Society. And tomorrow I'm announcing the cast. I'm dropping a trailer. So follow me for all the good stuff.
Wow, ooh, so cool. And Nassim, where can folks go to find you?
Find me everywhere on social media at Nazgul and on the Venture Maidens Twitch channel Wednesday nights, playing D&D with Celeste.
Yes, it's me. And Gnome, where can the folks go to find you?
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at NoMedic. I do TTRPG things in TTRPG spaces every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I have to think like that. I don't know the schedule.
I know, I'm looking at my calendar
on my
like,
Twitch channel. It's like, I don't know. I pretend there's a calendar. There's no
good.
actual
There's
calendar.
no calendar?
There's a wall. No, there's no calendar. I'm supposed to do a coffee talk show every morning, essentially, with Air Safad. We wake up, we chat with friends for about 2 hours in the TTRPG space, and just have a pretty good old time. If you want more space, love space, love and Burn Bryte. I've got 2 other games actually coming back in January on Unmade Gaming's channel. The first one is Tuesday evenings. We will be playing Void Coriolis. So if you like dark space. And then on Thursday nights, I'm going to be GMing a game of the Expanse RPG. So if you like deadly space based off of the TV show and book, I kill all the NPCs. It's fine. Come have fun with us. That's it. That's where you can find me.
So good. And my name is Celeste Conowitch. You can follow me everywhere on social media at @cconowitch. Best place to do that is on Twitter. You can always check out what I'm writing, what I'm podcasting on my website, celesteconowitch.com. Yeah, check me out Wednesday, like Nassim said. We're doing a session 0. We're starting Rime of the Frost Maiden on the Venture Maidens channel. I wrote that campaign, so I'm very excited to be DMing it. So that will be a lot of fun. So Wednesdays and, of course, Venture Maidens alternating, and you can always look up that podcast. Yeah, that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to see you all next week and see what happens, and until then... Blast off.
Blast off.
Blast off. Blast off, everybody. Whoa, whoa. Space.